Dudes are parking way too close to that gate, man. We need that extra space right there for our swing out. Otherwise you run all up on the curb like I just did. Welcome to something new. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. I can't call it Faith for Freight 2.0, but that's kind of what it is. So this would be a second attempt to make truck driving videos, maybe not consistently, but I just kind of miss doing this. And well, I deleted Faith for Freight last year, so anybody who finds this video is probably not going to know who I am or what I did on YouTube. Check out this train track right here, this lovely train track that I can't stop on. So I have to stop before it and wait for the, you know, the busy 4-lane divided highway to clear up. Thankfully, I'm only turning right. So here we go. It's happening. And I'm just hoping that I tightened up that load lock good enough in my trailer. I'm just gonna do a little bit of filming today and have you guys kind of tag along if you want to. If not, that's cool too. But after going a long time without making any truck driving videos, I've realized that I kind of need to make some videos because it's kind of therapeutic for me in a way. So if I go a long time without doing it, yet I'm still doing my normal job every day, I don't know, it gets boring. At least with the video aspect of it, I can be somewhat creative, because I've found that I'm one of those people that if I don't have a creative outlet in life, then I tend to become kind of miserable. So the whole truck driving video thing is just sort of my way of coping with the nature of my job and kind of expressing myself in certain ways. I try not to, you know, be dramatic or anything or be fake. I'll just be who I am and go from there. So I'll just give you a little bit of a touch base on what I'm doing today. I just finished my first stop and I've got 2 more. Now what I do is local city driving in Georgia. I'd actually do a variety of things. I work typically between the hours of like 3 a.m. and 6 p.m. normally. I don't always work that long, but sometimes, you know, I have a long day, and I've had up to like a 16-hour shift before, which you didn't used to be able to do that, but the DOT changed it to where local truck drivers can work up to 16 hours once per every 70-hour period in 8 days. So I have worked 16 hours before and it sucks. But hopefully that's not going to be the case today. Right now it's been about 3.5 hours since I started my clock. So I came in at 3:45 this morning. I dispatched out of McDonough. I drove all the way up here to Pendergrass via the interstates, and now I'm headed to Decula, I think is what it is, for my second stop. The main thing that I do is I haul tobacco. Most of the time that requires that I unload it and break it down and sort it out myself. So it's kind of a touch freight job, which, you know, a lot of truck drivers would be like, I don't want to do that. I just want to drive the truck. But you're not going to make as much money if you're just driving the truck. See, if you show them that you can be multifaceted in your capabilities, then they're willing to pay you more money. So I say, you know, just the truck driving by itself is way too boring. And at least when I'm unloading my freight at the customers, I get to do something else, and I get to get out of the truck and get active and sweat a little bit, and that's good for you. So I don't mind it. But yeah, I'm gonna catch up with you guys. We're gonna go through Winder City in a little while. I'll catch up with you guys when we get to Winder. It'll be a little bit more interesting to look at than US 129 here. Okay, so we're getting up in there now. About to enter the city limits right here. Winder city limits. A Purple Heart city. So this is kind of an interesting place to find yourself in on a rainy Wednesday morning at 7:30 a.m. Traffic varies. Since it's summertime and school's out, I'm assuming that it's not going to be as bad as it would normally be. But it's just a quaint little town nestled up in northern, is it Gwinnett County or is it Walton? I think it's Walton County. And that intersection right there is kind of sketchy. There's like a yield sign for the other side because it's a fork, and if you're not prepared for that yield sign and you're coming from that other way, yeah, that's kind of sketchy. So you got to pay attention to signs. It's gonna get better looking than this though. It's like a main street strip, and usually around this time of year they'll have it all decked out for like Independence Day, and if they haven't already done that, then they probably will pretty soon. It's just a small town Americana, even though it's not really small anymore, but originally the old part of it, yeah. There's a lot of traffic lights coming up, and well, the traffic is, you know, it's pretty thick right now. Guy in front of us with the rollback is like vaping, and this huge cloud came out of the driver's side of his truck. Yeah, those rollback wreckers, I would not mind trying that maybe for a week or something, just to see how it would go. I'm sure it's difficult, stressful, dangerous, but probably fun too. Anybody know how much those rollback drivers make annually? Oh shoot, got a police car. Hope that doesn't mean there's an accident. Now the fire station's right here on the right. There's a sign that says do not block exit for fire station, and there's a big X where they don't want you to stop if the light's red. Thankfully we have enough room to clear that X. But yeah, just imagine how frustrating that would be if you were a firefighter and the traffic is pretty thick coming through here usually. So the real question is, how many vehicles actually obey that sign and not block the exit? I'm looking back right now and it looks like they left it open, so that's good. All goes back to, you got to pay attention to signs. There's a railroad track down here that is also kind of interesting because there's also a traffic light right after the track. And so a lot of times what I've seen coming through, I haven't been through here in a while, but I used to come through here almost every day, and what I would see is trucks stopping at the light because it's red, but they don't have enough room to clear the track. Like right now I'm looking at it and there's a white line right below me, but I think I have enough room to clear it. So what they would do is they would pull up like this, but then they'd get to the point where they had a vehicle in front of them and they had to stop. Thankfully I cleared the track, but I have seen trucks stop on the track. In fact, there was a reefer truck hauling a reefer trailer, and he stopped on the track and that light turned green, but I mean maybe 10 seconds after that light turned green, a train came, and that little swing arm gate came down, and it almost came down on his trailer. I wish I could have got that on camera. I would have sent it to Bonehead Truckers. So what I'm trying to do right now that we've, you know, made it past Winders, I'm trying to make my way down to Georgia 316, which is also US 23, and I'm going to turn right and head west toward that city I'm talking about, which I think is Decula, and that's where my second stop is. It's right off of Highway 316. All right, we made it to 316. Like I said, we're gonna go west now. This road is usually pretty backed up too. We're gonna be going probably about 11 miles, 11 and a half miles, something like that, west on 316 for right now. What color is that? Silver crossover. He's getting a little antsy there. Come on, man. Everybody's driving slow because it's raining. Can you handle that, or is it too much for you? Actually, there's a truck up there in the left lane, kind of slowing everybody down. But yeah, this is basically what it's like the whole way, especially on a weekday morning, you know. So if you don't like somebody that's in front of you all the time driving slow, I always say don't float the mainstream, you know. Don't take the roads that everybody else is going to take. The roads that everybody else is going to take are going to be the most convenient roads, you know. So if you want to avoid the traffic, you got to get creative with your routing and get on roads that you know people aren't going to take as often, you know. Obviously this is a main thoroughfare and most people are going to be using it for commercial and non-commercial travel. So yeah, I mean, if I wasn't in a truck, I would get way more creative with where I would go to get to this place from where I just came from. But you can't really do that in a truck most of the time because of, you know, restricted roads. So, but if I was in a four-wheeler, yeah, I would not be using this road to get to where I'm trying to get. All right, we're coming up on our road. Road. This is just gonna be one of those days. It's gonna be raining all day, and well, normally, you know, the advice I just gave about not taking the main roads, normally I will do that, and I will still do that in a truck. But today, the places I'm having to go to, things I'm having to do, it's actually going to be conflicting if I were to do that. So, and what I mean by conflicting is, as far as time goes, it would just take a lot longer to go that much further out of the way to take lesser roads to get to where I need to be. So today I'm going to be on all the mainstream roads in the Atlanta area. I'm gonna have to get on 85 after we leave here. I'm gonna have to take 85 down to 285 on the east side and jump on 675 and go down to Forest Parkway. That's my third stop. But for right now, let's focus on stop number 2, which is right here. Thankfully, at this place, I don't have to break anything down or unload or anything like that. Thankfully, they do all that here, and they do that without charging us a lumper fee, so it's pretty awesome for that reason. Next place, the third place, yeah, I'm gonna have to unload it myself. So look at that trailer. It says, "Wife complaining, give us a call." That's pretty funny. So yeah, this place, it's pretty cool for a customer. You know, like, they seem to actually care about amenities for truck drivers, because unlike most places you go to, even most big places, you know, you might have an appointment and you might have to sit and wait. Say you get there early or something like that, or they double book and you end up having to wait longer than you thought you would have to wait. Or if you just trip plan and say you missed your appointment or something like that and they had to reschedule it, well, they're not going to tell you to leave and come back. I mean, I guess you can, but you don't have to at a place like this, because as you guys can see, there's a whole lot over here where you can take your break. I mean, they don't care, whatever. I mean, they've even got like telephone numbers up here at the guard shack for Chinese and pizza, and like if you want to order food while you're waiting, if you're going to be here for a while, you can do that too. So this place is actually pretty trucker friendly, if you ask me. So I checked just to see, and yeah, sure enough, they still got all those phone numbers up at the guard shack for like Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Domino's, and Chinese. And she's like telling me where to go like I haven't already been here 20 times. And She's like, don't break your seal. And I'm just thinking, lady, I don't even have a seal. I broke my seal at stop number 1. Welcome to the world of LTL. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. I gotta park. I don't want to be the only douchebag that just sits out in the aisle, although I already know where to go. See, when I go into this office, they're gonna tell me to go into another office because I have tobacco. But they still want me to go into this office because it's like I have to check in 2 times whenever I come here. So yeah, it's just, it's its whole thing, you know. It's a whole process kind of thing, kind of deal. Or it kind of sucks. It's just a lot of extra crap that you got to do, and it sucks even more when you got to get out 2 times and it's raining. But thankfully it's not raining that hard anymore, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I just, because I know where to go, and I already know exactly what they're going to tell me when I check into this first office, I think it's kind of pointless to do it, you know. It's like a step that could be eliminated, a pointless step, but they want me to do it like this. I gotta do it their way. Customer's always right. Yep, just like I said, they stare at the paperwork because they're like, what is this? So they stare at it for a minute, and they realize, oh, this doesn't actually belong over here. So what they do is they tell me to go around to the other side of this building in front of us, and which is the shipping side. And so basically, when you're checking in 3 times, it's not 2, it's 3, because you check in at the guard shack, and then you check in receiving, and then receiving tells you to go to shipping, and you have to check in shipping. And shipping will give you a dock door. But I've been here so many times that I already know that I don't necessarily have to go into shipping to get a dock door. I know where they'll unload me. Like, I know the doors that they use to unload me. So if there's a door open, I'm just gonna go ahead and dock before I go in and try to eliminate that step of the procedure. I mean, it would be understandable, and don't think I'm complaining, I'm not, I'm just describing this to you, but it would be understandable if I had a whole trailer for this customer, but I don't. I mean, I'm bringing them maybe 4 pallets off of this trailer. So yeah, it's just, it's a lot of red tape for 4 pallets, you know. It's a lot of I don't even know what you would call that, a lot of clearance levels that I have to go through to do this. And that truck just pulled out of that dock, so I'm just gonna dock it right here. If they tell me to move, I'll move, but you know, it's an open dock 312. Okay, so I'm gonna dock over here. Okay guys, I got my doors open. I'm just gonna do this the easy way, and I'm gonna flip it around. So I'm not trying to like blindside. I was gonna do one of those fancy flip around back things, you know. I'll try to explain that to you, but basically when you turn like this and you line with this turn right here, you line your tandems up with the spot. You see that open spot right there? See, I could probably back into that if I tried hard enough, but the aisle just didn't look wide enough for me to do that at the dock. So I'm just gonna side alley dock into it. But this pickup truck is like screwing me up because I can't get as close to this side as I need to because the pickup truck's in the way. I'm still gonna have to get as close as I possibly can. But see, it's better if the back of your trailer is straight and mine's not. So I'm just gonna have to deal with it and work with what I've got. It's not too tight, but still it's like, yeah, that pickup truck shouldn't be there. It's just making my job more difficult than it has to be. I love day cabs. So much easier to do everything. With the shorter wheelbase and the fact that I have that window in the back of it, yeah, it's great. Love it. Makes my job easier. There we go. That's good enough. Okay guys, so I'm gonna share with you quickly the route that I'm about to take. See, I was thinking about taking 316, also US 29 to 85, and then just taking 85 down to 285 right here, and then taking 285 to 675, and it's right there. But there is another way that I can go, actually, if I wanted to not get on 85, which I kind of don't. I could start right here and just follow the blue line. I mean, basically, Sugarloaf Parkway connects with 316, and then Georgia 20. Instead of, you know, turning left on Georgia 20 right there, I'd have to turn right and come up here to 124 at that intersection, and then take 124 to 78, and then just take 78 all the way to 285 and go that way. That way I could completely avoid Interstate 85. Okay guys, it's actually saying that it's going to be faster now to take 85, but I just want to get off of that road right there, 316. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now, because I just sat in a bunch of traffic on that road. So now we're going to go through Lawrenceville, and as I was saying before, this state highway 124 goes down through Lawrenceville all the way to Snellville. And then there's a crossroads right in the middle of Snellville with 124 and US 78. So when we get to Snellville, I'm gonna jump on US 78 and go west to 285, which even on my old truck driving channel, I never filmed 78 right there at 285, like Stone Mountain, Tucker, that area. Okay, we're finally moving again. That light took forever. Tell you what, I'm gonna get in the middle lane. And I'm going to lift my visor up so you can see better. But yeah, this is a very busy road too, 124/20. A lot of stuff off of this road. I think it connects, well, I know that Georgia 20 connects Lawrenceville with Buford, another big city up here in Gwinnett County. So you got a lot of stuff off of this road, like the Mall of Georgia, which is actually north, so it's in the opposite direction. Sorry about all the red lights, man. It sucks for me too. So my goal after I get through all this is to head to my third stop. That's my last tobacco stop. After that, I have to go get loaded. See, my third tobacco stop is in Forest Park, or Lake City, really, it's Lake City. The place where I'm getting loaded is in Forest Park. So they're two cities, they're like right next to each other, and they're connected by Forest Park Way, which connects 675 and 75, the two interstates. The good thing is they're not that far apart from each other. So my third tobacco stop and my second load where I'm getting loaded, they're not that far away from each other. It doesn't take that long to get from Lake City to Forest Park. That's the good news. The bad news is the place where I have to go to get loaded, they go on their lunch break at noon, and they just completely shut the whole place down for an hour. So if I don't make it to get loaded by, say, 11:30, 11:45, that might be pushing it a little bit. If I don't get my butt over there to get loaded by 11:30, 11:45-ish, then I'm gonna have to sit there for an hour while they take their lunch break so that they can come back at 1 o'clock and load me. And it only takes about 15 minutes to get loaded. Okay, that second load that I'm talking about, I have to take that to Union City. Union City is a city, it's south of Atlanta, it's like southwest. It's off of Interstate 85, although I don't take the interstate to get there. I'm just running my mouth right now, and I'm keeping the camera rolling because I want you guys to look at Lawrenceville. Well, it's as good as you can see it. Might not be able to see it with all the rain on the windshield, but this is Lawrenceville. It's very nice here. Very upscale, very crowded. Much, much, much too crowded to live here, in my opinion. Also, Gwinnett County, extremely astronomical property taxes if you wanted to buy a house here. Just looking at it, I was in the market to buy a house last year, and you know, I did a little bit of research about some of these counties around Atlanta, and Gwinnett County is one of the highest tax paying counties in Georgia. But the people don't seem to mind. The people that live here, they seem to like it here. And Well, it's upscale, it's up class, you know, north of Atlanta, and I'm sure all the executives that work in Atlanta probably live somewhere around here, or maybe you know, southwest of here, Marietta, Dunwoody, all those cities in that are north of Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? There's an old main street that goes through Lawrenceville. It's somewhere back behind us, but it's very nice looking. It's just like Winder. When we drove through Winder earlier, there's just an old main street section to it, and it's pretty cool looking. I don't know that you'd be able to get a truck to go through there. I mean, I'm sure you could make it work, but what I'm saying is I don't think they will allow you to. And this is a really small turning lane. I'm actually coming up off the road here. Okay. It's what we're doing right now is we're just basically following Georgia 20 and Georgia 124 southward. About a mile up here on the left, 20 branches off and goes east. It's actually right here. That's where they separate. And then we're gonna stay on 124 and keep going straight all the way to Snellville. Dang, man, FedEx, come on, man. You can't just park right out in the middle of the freaking 4-lane divided like that. Gosh, man, that guy had a sorry, I didn't notice my light was turning. I was distracted by the FedEx guy sitting in the middle of the right lane, stopped in front of somebody's house. Dude, you gotta back that thing up in their driveway. That's a little bitty tiny box truck. You can't, I mean, you guys see what I'm saying, right? You saw that truck. That was crazy. And it's on a blind hill. I mean, look, I'm not trying to be degrading when I say this or condescending when I say this, but most people that haven't had some kind of formal training on driving do not know how to project their vision that far ahead of their vehicle. Like, most people, when they learn how to drive, they're looking down at the road in front of them, and they're not looking at what is up, like further up in the distance. Again, I'm not trying to sound condescending or degrading or anything, but that's just the way that people learn how to drive. I think I figured this out, you guys. When you first start driving, you're so hyper focused on keeping your vehicle inside the lane that you're constantly looking down there at the lines in front of you. But that's actually counterproductive. So when you get like formal driver training, and it doesn't have to be class A, class B, it doesn't have to have anything to do with commercial driving at all. It's just, it's a common fact. Doesn't matter what you're driving, 4-wheeler, 18-wheeler, doesn't matter, okay? The further ahead you look on the road in front of you, the better off you are. And you can actually train your arms and your hands to be 100% coordinated with your vision, to where you're always looking as far ahead as you possibly can. And guess what happens when you do that? You're not just seeing things that are far ahead, you're seeing things that are closer to you at the same time. You're looking everywhere, you're scanning everything. When you got your eyes focused on as far down the road as you can possibly see, you're gonna see everything else in your field of vision, versus if you're looking straight down at the road, you're not gonna see anything that's more than 50 feet in front of you, you know, until you come up on it. And then when you come up on it, it might be too late. So that's just a tip, like, as a professional driver, again, not trying to sound condescending to anybody, When I first started driving, I did the same thing. It took training for me to realize, hey, the further down the road I look while I'm driving, the better off I am. And actually, the easier it is to keep my vehicle inside of my lane. I'm not fighting with it nearly as much to keep it inside the lane because, well, eventually, like I said, your vision is going to line up with your coordination. And then it's just going to come naturally, and you're going to realize how sensitive your steering wheel is and how small of a movement it takes to move one way or the other. And that's what's going through a truck driver's brain whenever they're driving down the road. And they might not even be thinking about it. It's just after you do it for so long, it becomes subconscious, and you're just automatically scaling your lane with the distance of whatever's in front of you, and it's a balance thing where I don't even have to look in my mirrors to know that I'm centered in my lane right now. I'm pretty wide. I don't have that much space on either side of me, but I know by looking ahead and without having to look in my mirrors that I'm centered in my lane, because I just have it like a dimensional awareness of how wide my vehicle is. So I know exactly where I need to ride inside of my lane to be centered in it. But that wasn't even my point, okay? My point was, if an unskilled driver were to come up on that FedEx truck sitting on that hill, on a blind hill, just sitting there, they're probably not going to have enough time to react. And the fact that it's raining makes it even worse. Yeah, that was crazy. There's nothing rational inside your brain that could think that's okay to do something like that. When you're driving a little box, just pull up in their driveway. If you can't back into their driveway, then pull up into their driveway. It's not like you're driving a tractor trailer. You're driving a little box van. Maybe he broke down. I don't know. Maybe he broke down. And maybe it looked like to me he was making a delivery to that house. But maybe he broke down. That's the first time I've ever seen FedEx do anything like that, if he was making a delivery. But I have seen, like, that company, Amazon Prime, with all their courier vans and stuff. I've seen them do some pretty crazy crap before. I actually got hit by one time in Pennsylvania in the mountains. One of those black Amazon Prime vans just nailed my mirror on a embankment going down a mountain, because he was holding his phone and he wasn't, doing all the stuff I was just talking about, where you're focused on what's in front of you and you're centered in your lane. He wasn't doing any of that. He was just holding his phone going down the side of a mountain, and he ran right into me. So I'm not trying to talk down on these companies. I'm just pointing stuff out, just making conversation. Does anybody else have any crazy stories of seeing people do crazy stuff? I don't want to talk about this for too long. I don't want to make the video too long, but there are some exceptions. Like, say that FedEx driver was in a tractor trailer, then yeah, he would have had no other choice but to park on the road to make his delivery. And you're probably thinking, well, tractor trailers don't make house calls. But that's not true, because I've actually done it before in a tractor trailer. It all depends on what you're carrying. It depends on who you're working for. It depends on what you're doing. I did food service for a little while, and I had to deliver to a trailer park one time in a tractor trailer, which sounds like it might work because it's a trailer park and I'm in a tractor trailer, so they had to get the trailer homes in there somehow, so they had to make it work somehow. And you're right, I mean, that's true, but it wasn't easy. But the difference would be the fact that, he's got no other option but to park in the road, because he can't park a tractor trailer in somebody's driveway like that. You can't do that for many reasons that I won't get into. you see the difference. That guy had an option. He could have pulled into their driveway. He could have backed into their driveway instead of parking right out front, blocking the lane on a blind hill. But if he wasn't a tractor trailer, then he wouldn't have had any other choice but to do that. But the good thing about a tractor trailer is that it's a lot taller than one of those little cargo vans, and it would be easier to spot on a blind hill because it's so tall. I'm gonna shut up now. I just wanted to say those things. Ooh, that's a short countdown timer on that light. Wow. Okay, we're here now. We're about to make that right turn I was talking about onto 78. This is Snellville. It's kind of got a funny name. It reminds me of Dr. Seuss. Snellville. Yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to film this intersection. Very busy intersection, very busy crossroads, and it's cool that I'm able to show you 78 now. I was talking about it earlier, saying that it's another road that'll take you from Atlanta to Athens. Well, we're about to get on it and head toward Atlanta, but we're actually going to get off of it before we get to Atlanta, thank God. No, but anyway, this is the intersection. So what you've got is Snellville right here. You jump on 78, you head west, and you'll go through a city called Lilburn, and you'll go through Stone Mountain and Tucker. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say now. We're gonna get off of 78 at 285, and that's like Decatur right there. It's west of Tucker. But I've never filmed this road right here. You guys are probably confused, but I used to have a truck driving channel, and I had it for like over 6 years, and I deleted it one day. I just decided, well, you know, I talk too much in my videos and I sound like a cynical narcissist most of the time. So I'm just not gonna make videos anymore. But then I realized, well, I kind of like making the videos, because like I was saying at the beginning of this video, it kind of helps cope with the nature of what I do, just to talk about it while I do it. And I get it, not everybody's into that kind of thing, and I get it. And so if not, that's cool. I don't have any like fancy cameras, or I mean, I do have a GoPro. It's pretty cool, wearing it on my head right now. But I don't have any like external mounted cameras on my truck or anything like that. I have some mounts on my truck, but I didn't bring the right hardware to mount my camera to the outside of my truck today. So yeah, this is all gonna be like interior shots from my head. All right, I'm gonna shut it down at the moment. For the moment, I'm gonna shut it down, and then I'm gonna show you further west from here when we're passing Stone Mountain. You can actually see Stone Mountain pretty good from this road. I'll try to get a shot of it when we get down there. Okay, now we're in that city called Lilburn, and there's a this is really random, but I don't know if it's there anymore, but there used to be this really cool like little petting zoo thing for kids right there off of Lake Lucerne. It's called Yellow River Game Ranch, and I don't know if it's there anymore, but does anybody remember that place? I just thought about it. It just popped into my head, like, oh yeah, I took my son there when he was like 4 or 5. And he's about to turn 16 this fall. So it was a long time ago. I went there when I was a kid too. It was there for a long time. It might still be there, I don't know. But it was back there on the right somewhere. A lot of traffic lights, a lot of thick traffic. These lanes are really narrow too for a truck to try to drive on. But this is a US route, so I mean, it's kind of crazy that the lanes are so small. It's only through here though. They kind of widen out, and it's going to turn back into expressway up here with like exits and stuff. But it is 3 lanes, so that's good. Still 30 minutes away, and it's 10 now. It's not looking like the greatest circumstances to try to do what I need to do, but I'm gonna try it anyway. And even if I fail and I end up having to sit there for an hour, well, it is what it is. It sucks, but if you let small crap like that eat away at you, then you'll end up miserable before you know it. So I'm gonna try, but if I fail, I'm not gonna be too disappointed about it, because it's not that big of a deal. It's just an hour. See, it turns into expressway right here. And Stone Mountain, I didn't really think about this, the fact that it's so overcast and a little foggy, but maybe if I turn my camera sideways, you can somewhat see it right there. It is kind of hard to see because of the trees and stuff, but yeah, Stone Mountain is like right there. Don't worry, I'm looking at the road. You guys are looking over there through the trees trying to see Stone Mountain, but I'm looking at the road. So don't worry, I got it under control. Yeah, I don't guess you're gonna be able to see it. The trees are too tall. Oh, I remember you used to be able to see it. Yeah, anyway, we're 6 miles away from 285. I keep trying to get over to pass these vehicles, but I keep having somebody come up on me. There we go. And it can't decide if it wants to keep raining or if it wants to stop or what. It just, you know, those kind of days. Okay, 2 miles from 285. See what this sign says. South 60 to 65, north 30 to 35. Well, good thing we're going south. Now, I did make a video last winter of driving through downtown Atlanta in this truck in the middle of the night, and I got in to the city part, the downtown part, from this road right here, US 78. It's kind of an interesting video. I mean, if you like to look at Atlanta, it's an interesting video. But I was actually like testing a truck GPS to see if I could use it to navigate my way through downtown Atlanta, and it did pretty good. But I might actually post that video to this channel because I kind of worked hard on it, and well, I'm sure if people watch it, they're probably thinking, oh, this is a promotional video for this truck GPS. But it's not. I mean, I didn't get anything for making the video. I just wanted to do a little bit of research and then do a little bit of review and give you my opinion about the thing. Somebody that, well, you would think that I would need a truck GPS doing what I do, because I am taking a lot of, you know, secondary roads and stuff like that. But at the same time, I find that I get by just fine without one. I don't really need a truck GPS, and I never have. I mean, I did when I was over the road, but just driving locally, no, it's not really necessary. You just gotta pay attention and not do that. What's the matter? Was I driving too slow for you? Looks like they are too. What are you gonna do now? Okay, we're getting on 285 now. I gotta get all the way over, or at least get over a couple of lanes. If these people will let me. I mean, my lane's about to end anyway. They're not making it very easy on me, I know that. Okay. If you want to get in front of me, I would have made it way easier than that, because I was going to get out of your way, but you didn't give me a chance to. They're just non-reactive, you know. I got to get over one more lane. There we go. Okay, now that we're on this road, the one we all know and love, good old 285, I gotta go south. We're gonna come up on the I-20 interchange. We keep going south. We ignore it, we keep going south. And then we're gonna come up on the 675 interchange, and that's the one I'm gonna get on. And then take that down a couple of exits to Forest Parkway. And then once I do that, we're pretty much there. It's just after 10. It says I'm 20 minutes away. I hope that's accurate. I really hope that's accurate. So I've got about half an hour or so to get this stuff taken off the trailer, and then try to head out as soon as possible to get to my live load before noon. I think I might be able to do it. I think I'll be all right. Let's see how it goes. Doing a lot of work right here. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. Doesn't look like they're working on the road, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's the I-20 interchange. Gosh, they're clearing a lot of land out. Yeah, maybe they're making it better, you know, improving it. I didn't see that one coming. So if you guys look on the oncoming side, that far right lane over there, which will be to our far left, you see that line of traffic? All those vehicles are getting on I-20 East. So after you work locally in the city, or I should say, like in the area that you live in, not the city, but the area that you live in, you do it long enough, you start to pick up on patterns, traffic patterns. And if you can, you know, remember everything that you collected and you're investigating certain roads during certain times over long periods of time, then you can kind of figure out where the traffic is going to be and when it's going to be there. So it's easier to avoid situations like what I just did was huge, because I completely eliminated I-85. I minimized the time that I'm going to spend on 285, and I'm almost all the way down here at 675 now. It's only 3 miles away, the interchange. So I was able to figure out a good, productive way to get from all the way up there in North Gwinnett County all the way down here to Clayton County with minimal traffic. And really, I mean, if I had spent more time researching the roads, I probably could have done better than what I did. I didn't want to spend too much time looking at the map when I'm trying to hurry, you know? But this expressway right here, 285, that goes around Atlanta, it has traffic patterns, believe it or not. And it's a horrible road when it comes to traffic, but believe it or not, there are certain parts of this road that are pretty clear during certain times of the day. And it goes in a pattern. It goes in a pattern because it's all shaped around people's schedules, you know, people that use this road every single day. But mostly I just try to stay off of this road as much as I can. Unless it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, I try to avoid this road as much as I can. Because it's crazy. I mean, there's truck traffic, four-wheeler traffic, it's just the whole nine, buses. And you got all this like wide load, oversized stuff, like what's in front of us that you probably can't see. But there's like a truck up here that's hauling lumber, but it's like oversized. It might be like framing or something for a house. I don't know. I can't tell what it is, but it's big. I gotta get over shortly. I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. I know you're not supposed to cross that solid white line, but I have to get over. I'm hoping that this oversized truck will stay on 285. It looks like he's going to. But he's got like a pilot vehicle following him. And he's slowing everything down, which, you know, it's understandable. Okay, we made it to the 675 interchange. Started raining again. 12 minutes away. We're almost there. Let's go ahead and make things easier for myself and get in the right lane. There's a big giant landfill around here somewhere. It's right there. And man, it stinks in the summertime. I'm talking about, it stinks. Like, make you gag stink. And it's huge. I mean, it looks like a freaking mountain at this point. It's kind of scary to look at and know that all of that is trash. All of that is trash, and it's huge. I mean, it's like, I know you guys didn't get a good look at it, but it looks like a freaking mountain, and that's what it is. It's like a mountain of garbage. Okay, I'm getting off at exit 5. Okay, here comes our exit. Forest Parkway. That QT right there, that's a truck stop. Turn red on me. Okay. Okay, another kind of interesting neighborhood right here. This intersection right here, this is 42. Which is also US 23. If you turn right at this intersection and go north, it's gonna take you up Moreland Avenue. You're gonna end up in Little Five Points in Atlanta. If you turn left and go south, you're gonna end up in like Stockbridge, and then eventually like you stay on 23 and 42, and see, they're connected. 42 is the state route, 23 is the US route. They're connected all the way until you get down past Jackson, Georgia, and they split. 42 goes southwest and 23 goes south. So I'm not sure where 42 ends up. I know that US 23 goes all the way down to Jacksonville, Florida. So, and I'm pretty sure it goes all the way north up to like Indiana. So yeah, this guy's making me real nervous right now with that, with his car carrier trailer. He's kind of coming into my lane a little bit. So our delivery is just up here on the left. All right, it's right here. Not the scrap metal place, the next place. Right here. Oh, and their gate's shut. Oh God. Here we go. So this place, you just kind of have to sit out here until they realize you're here, and then they'll open the gate. They normally have their gate open around this time. I don't know what's going on. Let me figure it out. Okay, that didn't take too long. Let's see, we got a truck in dock 1. Can't tell if there's anybody in dock 2 or not. Guys, I apologize in advance. I would film this place and all the stuff I do here, but I'm kind of in a hurry. So I'm just gonna let you go here. I'll get lined up with my space and everything and then I'll let you go. Okay. This is only 60 cases that I don't have to off stack. I just have to unload it with a pallet jack, and then they count it off and receive it, and then I can go. So this shouldn't take but 20 minutes tops. Okay guys, it's 11:15. And I'm 11 minutes away, so we're gonna make it. I know that really sucks for whoever's having to load me. I mean, you're coming up on your lunch break, you're like, yeah. And they get an hour-long lunch break at this next warehouse. So it's like, yeah, you're coming up on your lunch break, but no, here comes a truck and you have to load it. Yeah, that's gotta suck. But I would have got there earlier. I would have, I really would have, but I got held up back there where I just left. They held me up because the receiver was on break. And that's what happens. I mean, you come to these places kind of late, around 10-ish or so, and they're usually on their 15-minute break. So I was there for a good half an hour, a little more than half an hour, waiting on them to receive that. So now it's just a mad dash down Forest Parkway. You get to the other side, the I-75 end, and that's where that other warehouse is. Okay, there's a downside to this, what I'm about to have to do. There's a stupid median, you see it. Well, it goes all the way smack down to 75, this median here. And the bad thing about it is, the road that I need to turn onto would require me having to do a U-turn on this busy road right here, and I don't want to do that, especially not in the rain. So I'm gonna have to go a little bit out of the way. I'm gonna have to go around the block that the warehouse is on. I mean, I'll show you what I mean when we get down there, but I'm gonna go ahead and get in the left lane and make this guy mad. I have to turn left up here. See, the way the GPS is trying to get me to go, I don't know if I'm allowed on the road that it wants me to turn right on. But there's another intersection up here with a main road. That's US 19 and 41, both of them. But it looks like it's always, it's also maybe State Highway 3 from the look of it. Yep, Georgia 3. See, there's a sign for it right there, Junction 1941 and Georgia 3. See, the GPS wants me to turn left. You know what? I can do that. I'm going to do that. I mean, I'm pretty positive that that little crossroad right there is okay for trucks, because those are just warehouses on that road. I'm 95% sure that I'm okay doing that. And it's gonna make a big difference because I can't like physically show you at this point, but yeah, the only other option would be to go down, keep going this way, and then do a U-turn right there and come back up, because you got to go around that stupid median. or go to the next light down, take a left, go all the way around the block like that, and then I could get there that way. That's what I was gonna do, but now that I'm looking at this, I think I'm okay just going this way. That, what's that road called? Barnett Road. Well, we'll see. If it's not a truck route, then I might miss my my cutoff time. I don't know. I think it's okay though, I really do. And then again, if it's not a truck route, I can just say, well, I'm sorry, you know, my warehouse is right there. I'm only gonna be on that road for like 1/10 of a mile. So I might as well just go for it. It's gonna save me a lot of time. Yeah, is it? This is not right. Okay. Wait a minute. You guys saw that road sign, right? That said Barnett Road. Maybe I was supposed to pull in here. I don't. What are you doing to me, GPS? Can I go around this building? It looks like I can. I think the road's actually over there. I turned too soon. Yeah, I turned too freaking soon. Well, obviously there's got to be a way out. I kind of just, instead of getting on the road, I kind of just went through private property to get to where I need to be. And I didn't mean to do that, but it looks like I'm gonna be okay either way. As long as I can get around this building right here. Okay, that didn't do me any good. Nope, now I'm back at square one. God dang it. I just screwed up. It'll be alright. I just hope I can make this freaking turn. It's kind of tight. This truck sitting here. You're in a really bad spot, man. You know that? Really bad spot. Just had to run up on the curb. Let's try that again. Okay, at this point, if I don't make it, it's my fault for making a stupid mistake. This is what it's like though. This is literally life of a local truck driver. Wonder if I can make that. I think I can. I think I can. Good. Nice. Let's try this again. Let's try this one more again. I think I need to be on Bonehead Truckers. Okay, for real this time, we're gonna turn right on Barnett Road and not turn into the stupid warehouse that has a sign right there. Okay, but there's a red, okay, I get what it's saying. Not right there, dummy, where the traffic light is. See, you pay attention to signs. I don't see any no truck signs on the outside. What about once you get on the road? Oh crap, this is residential. I'm only gonna be on the road for like 1/10 of a mile, or okay, 4/10 of a mile. But look, you got a trailer park, you've got another warehouse right here. Okay, this is good, valuable information. I'm glad that I did this. See, sometimes you just have to experiment until you get a solution. I see or hear no trains. But literally, like, this is a good road. I didn't see one no truck sign, except for all those parking lots, which I don't need to go into anyway. See, this is the road that I needed to be on. That wasn't too bad. I just kind of got, oh my gosh. It's a good thing I didn't do that U-turn, because look, they got the road blocked with a freaking train down there. So it's a good thing I didn't go that way, or I would have got stuck waiting on that train to get out of the way. So now I'm just gonna pull in down here on the end where there's room for me. There's kind of just trucks all over the place here. Just kind of have to make room where you've got it, really. And we're here. We made it. It's 11:30 on the dot. Okay, guys. Just like I said, dude's not happy. They said he might get me loaded before lunch. Might being the key word. And then she was like, well, he should have you loaded before lunch. They got like 20 minutes, a little over 20 minutes to get it done. It doesn't take, it takes him like 15 minutes to do it. Literally, he had it done in 15 minutes yesterday, but that was after lunch. So, you know, I really don't know. But we're on the dock now, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, now that I have a chance to catch up with you, I'm in the dock. Trailer's rocking, shaking, quaking. There's the driver in there, the forklift. They're loading me, and it's 11:45. So, despite the many setbacks, I was starting to feel a little hopeless there for a second, especially when I got to the last place, my third tobacco stop, and they told me that the receiver was on their brake. I was like, oh God, no. But it all worked out. I mean, I got here at 11:30, checked in. Forklift driver was angry. He didn't exchange words with me, but I heard him in the background. So, at least he's doing it. And see, again, the main reason why it was so important for me to get here in time before they went on lunch break is because their lunch break lasts for an hour. So otherwise, you know, you're sitting here for an hour doing absolutely nothing. And the funny thing is, this is the same warehouse that I used to go to when I worked for this company over here, First Fleet. I used to come here all the time to get roll stock, but that's not actually what I'm here to get today. I'm getting like canned vegetables, and I'm literally taking them like 11 miles down the road from here. And that's my second load. It's easy, you know, it doesn't take that long, but it takes much less time if you can get loaded before they take their lunch break. Because if you have to wait until after 1 o'clock to get loaded, yeah, they'll get you loaded in 15-20 minutes. You'll be out of here by 1:30, but then you got to go all the way to Union City, which I said is only like 11 miles away or something like that. It's not far at all, okay? The problem with that is after lunch, 285 gets crazy. Even the surface streets get crazy. I mean, it's like, it could be the difference between something taking 20 minutes to do and something taking like an hour to do. So I still have to drive, even after I deliver in Union City, I have to drive back to McDonough. And the later in the day I wait to do that, the worse the traffic is going to be, the longer it's going to take. I mean, it's already going to take probably about an hour to do it. But if it was, you know, I did the same thing yesterday, but like I said, I got loaded after they took their lunch break, and I didn't get back to McDonough until like 4:30. So something, I mean, a simple load doesn't pay much, ended up taking several hours because of the traffic being so bad after lunch. So the fact that I'm able to do this now, it's good. But yeah, just explaining that to you, I know it's a lot of talking, but like, it can mean the difference between something taking 3 hours or something taking an hour and a half to do. Okay, so I'm gonna try to slide my tandems back up. Try to go this way with it. You know, these green giant canned vegetables are pretty darn heavy, like 43,000 and some change worth of them. So that couldn't have gone more perfectly. One thing, I almost broke my freaking finger on my stupid trailer door trying to unlatch it just now because I was in too big of a hurry to try to get to the dock before he changed his mind. So that sucked. I like cracked my freaking cuticle. Freaking nail's probably gonna come off of my finger now, but I don't think I broke it, so that's good. I have broken my finger on a stupid trailer door before. But anyway, it went well, and they finished like just in time, right before 12. It's like 11:58, and I'm out. So I'm happy. I feel like I accomplished something. What I did, I mean, it's not like it's rocket science, but it takes a little bit of skill to plan and try to make stuff like that work. I guess that's one of the things about the job that I actually like doing, is trying to make certain things work, you know. And I have enough experience with it that I can pretty much tell if something is gonna work or not. Ooh, we're heavy now. See, that tobacco isn't heavy at all, it's light, but this crap is heavy. Now the way that I'm going is actually the way that I had originally planned on going on my way in, but I didn't have to do it, thankfully, which saved me some time, except for that stupid detour that I had to make in that parking lot. So see, this takes you back out to Forest Parkway, but it does so in such a way that you don't have to worry about that median being in your way. And I need to make a left turn on Forest Parkway. So I need to turn left at this light, cross over 75, which is right next to us. So yeah, we're gonna turn left and get back on Forest Parkway. And then soon after that, as soon as we cross over 75, there's a big, huge intersection, you'll see it, with, I guess, 331. Because if you keep going that way, you're not in Forest Park anymore, so I guess you're not on Forest Parkway, but you're still on the State Highway 331. And just like all those other roads I mentioned, 54, 1941, they all go south towards South Georgia. Now the other road that we're crossing over, that crosses over that big giant intersection I'm talking about, is Georgia Highway 85, not to be confused with Interstate 85. I know it's confusing because there's a State Highway 85, there's an Interstate 85. There's a State Highway 75 and there's an Interstate 75, so it's kind of confusing. But as long as you know that, then yeah. We're gonna turn left on Georgia 85 and we're gonna go down through whatever city that is. I think it's Riverdale or something like that. And we're gonna turn right on Georgia Highway 138 when we get down there. See, we're crossing over 75 now. Atlanta, Florida. Basically, to simplify things. Yeah, I want to say this area south of here is Riverdale, and then this particular area right here is God, I done forgot. I can't remember what it's called. No, it's not gonna come to me. Basically the city that the airport is in, the airport, Hartsfield Jackson International, it's not actually in Atlanta, it's in this other city south of Atlanta. But it's that way. If you kept going straight right there on Georgia 331, you would come into like all the terminal roads and stuff for the airport. The cargo terminal and all that other stuff is what you'd run into. And then you'd basically get to 285 again if you kept going that way. It's on the tip of my freaking tongue, but I can't remember the name of the city. It's gonna drive me crazy. I'll put the name of it down on the screen so you know the heck I'm talking about. But this intersection right here, it's huge, and it's like '85 crossing over this 331, and this light is so slow. I mean, good grief. It stays green for like 10 seconds and then it stays red for like 10 minutes. And this bobtail right here, he's got his right turn signal on, like he's gonna come over in this lane. Like, oops, I'm not supposed to turn left right here. I don't know what he's planning, but it's not gonna cause me to miss the light. Whatever it is. Okay, we got a green. So you're honking at that SUV. That was that bobtail. Did you guys hear that? He's honking at that freaking SUV to go, and he's sitting there in the left-hand turning lane making a left-hand turn with his right turn signal on.
So this guy gets in the far left turning lane so that he can
make an immediate right into this QT truck stop over here. I know why he did it. He did it so that he wouldn't be stuck behind me at the intersection waiting for me to go, so that he could, you know, turn into that QT. So basically what he did to prevent getting stuck behind me for like 20 seconds, he gets in the left turning lane and turns his right turn signal on, and then blares his horn at an SUV that's in front of him, so that he can basically cut all the vehicles in the left turning lane off to make his turn. And that's what this guy just did. To save himself like 20 seconds, he went to all that trouble, and he blared his air horn at somebody obnoxiously just so that he could make a right turn into a truck stop. Get the freaking crap out of here. What's wrong with people these days? It's still on too. Oh my gosh, that was funny. You guys saw that, right? Oh my gosh. Now, that intersection we were just at, if you turn right there and you get on 85, Highway 85 north, we're on 85 south, but if you get on 85 north, I used to work up there too. A long time ago, I worked at one of those warehouses. I made boxes, like corrugated boxes and wooden crates to ship like aircraft parts, like the airplane engines, jet engines and all that crap. Like, I made the packaging that they would use to ship those parts for like jets and stuff like that. And the place was right next to the airport. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I worked in a wood shop for a little while. I'd make these like wooden military grade style crates, like custom fit for the aircraft engine parts. And then I made corrugated boxes for the same purpose, really. It's just that the heavier stuff had to go in wooden crates. Totally useless information, but still, it's a little part of me that I don't think I've shared with anybody. It's a long time ago. We're talking almost 20 years ago now. That job went absolutely nowhere. I think I screwed that job up for myself, and I won't get into it, but yeah. Bad choices. I was young, and I screwed that up for myself, but it didn't pay that much anyway. But yeah, this is just really bland and boring right here, so I'm gonna turn the camera off. But basically all I'm doing is I'm going down Highway 85 till I get to 138, and then I'm turning right on 138 going west all the way to Interstate 85. I'm gonna cross over 85. You'll see. I'll show you. And then I'll be in Union City. And as soon as I cross over the interstate, the delivery is not far down, not that far down 138 on the left. So I'll show that to you guys when we get there. All right, in a bit. Alright, if I just go ahead and get my butt out here. This is where 138 intersects with 85. We're now on 138, okay? Just so you could see it, see that my See, Union City 10 miles, I-85 8 miles. I prefer to go this way instead of getting on 285 from 75 to get to 85. I prefer to take the back roads. It's more laid back, less intensive, less maniacs, but not always. But yeah, this road here, 138, it can get kind of busy. In fact, that's what I was talking about earlier. The later you wait, the more time it's going to take to use roads like this. Because it's like this road, it gets real bad, but only during certain hours of the day. The rest of the day, it's fine. It just flows smoothly. But yeah, later it gets, the worse it gets. Okay, still heading westward on 138. This is Interstate 85 right here, crossing over. As I said before, turn off for this delivery is a couple miles on the left. Probably not even 2 miles, probably like a mile to a mile and a half on the left. So there's 85. Generally start to make my way over to the left lane right around in here. You got to be careful coming through here because people will pull out in front of you and stuff, cut you off. Standard practice. What they seem to like to do the most is slow down and come almost to a complete stop, because they're going to make a turn. Even though they have a turning lane to slow down in, they'll still slow down in the main lane that goes straight. And so yeah, that kind of sucks when they do that. Utilize the turning lane. That's what it's there for. Anyway, I wasn't expecting to stop right here. I usually roll right through this light. But as you can see, there's another Quick Trip, there's another Walmart. It's just like every other city in Georgia, pretty much. I mean, I know it has its slight variations and differences, but we're south of Atlanta now, southwest. Not too far, probably 15 miles, 15 to 20 miles from downtown. There's a great big old billboard right there for title lending, and it's got a picture of a truck on it. Get up to $25,000 for your truck title and spend the rest of eternity paying it off. You'd have to be pretty dang hard up to pawn your truck title. I'm just saying. There's the place right there. Oh, that's like the worst freaking scenario. Like, something's going on down that road. I see a bunch of blue lights and orange lights. It looks like a trailer may have flipped over or something down there. I couldn't tell, but it looked like there was like cargo freight laying on the road. All right, so I can't miss my turn here. We've got more blue lights down here. The left turn is at the bottom of this hill, so the key is to hold her steady. And it's a very short turning lane, so I'm gonna have to actually cross over the double yellow right here to slow down, to prevent coming to that slow of a stop in the main lane there. and I'm staring directly into the face of a cop right now, and I've got a camera on my head. But it's hands-free, so he should be okay with that. But he's kind of in my way, dude. You're gonna have to move so I can turn. Looks like he might be headed down there to that mess we just saw, or I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but I saw it. Freaking freight all over the dang road down there. It really sucks because they need to put a light up right here. I mean, it would make things way easier to deal with, but I don't think they're gonna do that. But they need to. I mean, it could really solve some issues if they did. And we're already here, guys. That took half an hour to do, as opposed to it taking an hour to do. So got it done in half as much time because it's, you know, 12:30 and not 1:30 or 2. Okay, so I just dropped my load in door 77 right there. Found this empty to take back to McDonough. And well, back to McDonough. That's pretty much it from here. Again, I'll be taking the secondary roads. So 138, US 1941, Georgia 20. Check this trailer out. Put the tandems up. She's empty. It's a good trailer. Lock them back in place. And we're good to go. We can get out of here. And it's 1 now. So I'm leaving the delivery point when I wouldn't they would have not even started loading me yet if I had to wait, you know. Like their lunch break finally just ended at the place where I picked the load I just dropped off up, and they're not even back from their lunch break yet, and I've already delivered it. So just to give you an idea about how much time that saved me. Now it says it's gonna take an hour to get back to McDonough from here, but that's going off of the interstate, which I'm not going to take. So it might take a little bit more than an hour, roughly maybe an hour 10, hour 15 minutes, something like that. But yep, that's all she wrote. unless you guys want to see my journey back to McDonough, there's nothing particularly special about it. There's a lot of work zone going on right now on US 19 and 41. A lot of traffic on that road. I guess I can show you the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's down there where I gotta get on Georgia 20 in Hampton. Gosh, I just can't remember. I'm still trying to think of the name of that stupid city that the airport's in. It's not stupid. It's not. I'm stupid because I can't remember the name of it. Again, we need a traffic light right here. We really do. Now that you've got two, because there's a flatbed place right there that hauls lumber. And now that you've got two big warehouses right there. One for lumber, one for standard freight, grocery stuff. You need to put a light up right there, like seriously. Speaking to the Board of Commerce or whoever, Department of Transportation, for whatever county we're in. I think this is Fayette County right here. If not, it's like Fulton County still. But yes, you guys need to put a traffic light up right there. It's gonna save a lot of time, a lot of headache, and probably save a life or two, you know. It's a shame that, you know, people have to die. In some instances, people actually die before they'll put a traffic light up or something like that, you know. It's the way I've always heard it, you know. Like, the city that I'm originally from, Conyers, Georgia. There were roads. I mean, when I was growing up and I was a little kid, I mean, that city was going through major changes, and you know, the roads were upgraded and everything. But I would just always notice as a kid, hey, there's a traffic light here now. Like, when did they do that? And I was always told, well, there was an accident right here a few months ago. Somebody died, so they put a light up. You know, that happened like multiple times. So that's what I'm referring to when I say that. Anyway, we're back out on 138 now. We're gonna take 138 all the way, cross over Highway 85, which is what we took to get to 138. We're just gonna go straight across all the way to US 19 and 41 and go south, which is a right turn, and then take 1941 all the way to 20, which is probably where I'll catch back up with you, because I mean, there's no point in filming any of that. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, just as I promised, I have delivered. Here's the Atlanta Motor Speedway. If you're big into NASCAR, you know about this place, I'm sure. There's the hopefully you guys can see that. There it is. There's the sign for it right there. Never been to a NASCAR race, but I'm not completely objective to the idea of it. I just never could watch stuff like that on TV, but I guess maybe if I was actually there, like seeing it happen, it would be different. Okay, I'm watching this light right here. I don't want it to turn yellow on me. Slow down a little bit. Okay, we're good. Get in the right lane. We got a right turn coming up in half a mile. Our connector to Georgia 20, which is, you know, it's real funny because US 19 and 41 are packed out most of the time. Give them some space. But 20 right here, there's hardly ever any traffic on this road that we're about to get on. Like, regardless of what time of day it is, it's just wide open. See, my idea about the whole race thing is that if I'm gonna go watch a race, I don't want to go watch a NASCAR race. Like, if I had a choice, I would rather go to like Formula Drift or a GT3 race, something like that. That's not a round or oval, oblong shaped track. You know, it's just more interesting to me. Which we have those in Georgia too, obviously we do, but that's not at Atlanta Motor Speedway, that's at Road Atlanta, and that's like, well, you can see it better from right here. Gwinnett County, I want to say. They used to have, I don't know if they still do this or not, but you know, back in the day they would have like the Nopi Nationals there, because it's also a drag strip. So if I did go see a race, I would want to go there and watch a race like that. They also have like Cars and Coffee there, I think. Or they have Cars and Coffee everywhere, all over Atlanta. But yeah, I wouldn't mind going to that racetrack, Road Atlanta, to go watch a race. And then again, if you're made out of money, there's also the Porsche test track in Atlanta, where you can go pay a whole crap load of money and drive a GT3 Porsche on their test track, which is really awesome. If I could afford to do that, I would do that in a heartbeat. Like, screw watching a race, I'm about to have a race of my own in this Porsche that I don't own. But yeah, I mean, the traffic on this road, Georgia 20, it varies, but it's usually not any worse than what it is right now. I mean, yeah, there's vehicles scattered about here and there, but it's not like those other roads that we were on earlier, like 124. Oh my gosh, US 78, man. This road's just, it's not like that. Like, people just don't seem to use this road unless there's a race. In fact, that's why they built this road. Or, I mean, it was always here, but they like upgraded it and made it a 4-lane divided when they put the racetrack in down there. So they made the road plenty big enough. They spent all this money on it, but I mean, how many NASCAR races are in Atlanta every year? I'm asking honestly, because I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe a dozen of them. I can't see there being much more than that. And I think NASCAR season started in the spring, so it's probably still going on right now. I think it's like spring and summer, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, if there's a race in Atlanta and you want to come check it out, well, you've got this nice road right here to get you there. Which, you know, back in the day, I think right after they built that racetrack, I think they built it in like the mid to late 90s. But, you know, back then, I have seen this road like totally full of vehicles. But that was not long after they put all this in. It's like they knew it was coming, but then it kind of just, you know, fell by the wayside a little bit, and it's just not a very busy road anymore. It's convenient, but it's not that busy. So all I'm gonna do from here, I mean, I'm practically in McDonough now. We just drove through part of Hampton. I'm just gonna take 20 here all the way back toward I-75, and then I'm gonna jump on Westridge Parkway, which is just a little industrial road. It's got a bunch of warehouses on it, and that'll take me to 155, and then my warehouse is right off of 155, and then I'll be done. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. What do you think? If you stuck around, not many people do, but if you're one of the ones that stuck around to the end, and you liked it, you enjoyed it, and you get my my whole setup here, like you understand my style of how I make videos. I just do it the way that comes naturally to me. I try not to make it too boring, and I try not to... I do talk the whole time, but I try to talk about interesting things and not like just stupid crap that nobody cares about. Sometimes I might trail off in that direction, but I try to stop myself before I get there. So let me know what you think. If you enjoyed it, leave a like so I can get this channel going, get the algorithms on YouTube to notice me and put me out there a little bit more for people to find me. And see, the thing is, Faith for Freight, my first channel, it's not that I don't think people wouldn't have liked my videos. It's just that none of the right people found my videos. All the people that were looking for like Hollywood special effects clicked on my videos, and they ended up hating my videos because they're so boring to those kind of people. And it's not what they were looking for, but they clicked on my video because I would get like thumbs down or like poor audience retention rates. People would watch like 30 seconds of it and then they would just turn it off. But I did have some videos that would have just a crazy amount of views on them, and they weren't, I wouldn't even consider them my best videos. It's just that the right people found it, they watched it, and they liked it. So that's really all I need. I need the right people to watch my video, the people that are looking for stuff like this, like personal vlog, trucking kind of stuff, because I can show you some interesting things. I go to some pretty interesting places. Today was a little bit of an exception. I didn't really show you anything interesting today, but I do all kinds of stuff. That's one thing about my job, is that I do something different almost every day. I go to different I mean, sometimes I go to Savannah and I pick up container trailers. Sometimes I go to South Carolina and do random off the wall, like one-off broker loads, where I'll pick up somewhere around here, get loaded, and then take it to South Carolina. Sometimes I take back roads to get there. I go to Alabama multiple times a week, depending on what part of Alabama. I might go to Montgomery, I might go to Birmingham, I might go further north like Coleman, stuff like that. and I'm always looking for new routes, and I'm always looking for interesting things, and I've found a lot of interesting things, but I haven't been making videos lately. But I want to kind of get back into that. Even if it's just for a brief period of time. What's going on right here? I've got an accident or something going on right here. Even if it's just for a short spurts of time where I make multiple videos in a week or something like that, or I feel like I've got enough time to do it and sit there and edit the video. That's another thing. Yeah, these videos are long, but just because they're long, that doesn't mean that I don't spend a lot of time editing them. I mean, yeah, most of my videos that I made on Faith for Freight were over an hour long, but if I hadn't edited the video, then it would have been like a 3 or 4 hour long video. So I do the work, you know, I put the work into the editing process. And sometimes, I mean, on average, I would say I spend anywhere from 6 to 12 hours editing my footage after I film it. So I'm putting a lot of work into the videos, and it does get kind of frustrating when you work on something that hard, and in your eyes or your objectional opinion, you think it's good, but you're just not finding the right kind of people, the right kind of viewers that will agree with you. You're finding viewers that are just, they're clicking through all these videos, they're trying to find something that just blows their freaking mind. And there's nothing wrong with that. I do that too when I watch YouTube. But I also like to find, you know, personal channels where people, you know, they make extended videos, they talk about different things. They're not trying to make a Hollywood movie, you know what I'm saying? Or they're not trying to be like a professional cinematographer or director, you know. They're not producing a product. They're just being personal. They're just sharing their story with the world, and I respect that. I've always looked at YouTube as a platform to be personal and share your own personal vantage point on reality. Really, that's what I like about YouTube. But no, YouTube is actually turning in, or it's not turning into it. It already has turned into this product placement platform where, you know, the only successful YouTubers are the ones that sell themselves, and they fit into the conformity of what captures mainstream audiences, if you guys know what I'm saying. And I've just never been okay with that. I mean, I am okay with it. There's nothing wrong with it, but that's not what I want to do. I just want to be personal and real and show you my experience with life, you know. Maybe find people that see eye to eye with me, or, you know, can relate in some way, or people that just want to learn, you know. And they're you're not paying for it, you know what I'm saying? It's free. So, and I'm not making money for it. That's another thing. I'm not making money for it, and I'm not going out of my way to try to get attention. I'm just being who I am. This is 155, by the way. We're coming down here, about to get to my the turn off for the road that my warehouse is on. But yeah, I just wanted to explain that to you guys, and I know that this is just another one of my videos. It's long, it's drawn out, there's a lot of talking, but this is how my day went. This is June 21st, 2023. This is how my day went. I might make another one soon. sooner than later, depending on what else I'm doing. I might do another one this week, depending on where I go. If it's interesting enough, I might do it. Other than that, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, that's even better. If you understand what I'm trying to do and you appreciate what I'm trying to do, then that's even better. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that's going to be. I'm not sure. All right, take care. Last thing I do after I unhook from my trailer that I'm bringing in, I just thought I'd put this last clip in here. As I gather up all my information, got to finish my paperwork, write my final mileage down, and I'm about to add it all together. And the whole point of this is to talk money with you guys, in case you're wondering how much I just made to do what I did today. I'm about to add all my mileage up. Okay, so I started out here where I am now early this morning. Okay, I didn't film that at all. I didn't start filming until after I made my first stop. So I'm gonna add up all the miles. I got 87 miles from here where I started all the way up to Pendergrass at my first stop. Then 34 miles from Pendergrass to Decula, which you saw. Okay, 49 miles from Decula to Lake City, which you saw. 5 miles from Lake City to Forest Park, which you saw. 16 miles from Forest Park to Union City. And then finally 36 miles from Union City back here to McDonough. So that's a grand total of 227 miles. Okay, I have to multiply that by my CPM rate, which is 80 cents per mile. So I'm out of the mileage, I made $181.60. Okay, but I lumped at 3 stops today, the tobacco stops that I had. I get $50 per 500 cases to lump those. So altogether, you know, just long story short, I made $150 on that. So there's half of my income right there from lumping. So you see what I mean? I said earlier that it pays to unload it yourself. It does. It pays to do it yourself. Because if you're not going to do it, then a lumper company is going to charge your carrier company to do it for you. And I mean, depending on where you are, if it's grocery related, yeah. And they're going to end up paying out the wazoo to get a lumper company to do it when they'd rather just pay you to do it. And they're not going to pay you as much, but you are going to get paid. You're going to get some money for what you did. So that's another $150. That puts it at $331.60. Okay, and then I also got stop pay. Now I made a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stops today, and I don't get paid for the first one, but every subsequent stop after the first one I get paid for. So that means that I made $100 out of 4 stops. It's $25 a stop. Okay, so all that together I made $431.60. Now I'm gonna look at my clock, my log, and figure out what time I started this morning. I started working at like 3:30. It's now 2:30, so that's 11 hours. I said 431.60. Okay, so I worked for 11 hours. I made $431.60. This is a medium day. This isn't a really good day, and it's not a piss poor day either. It's medium. It's like midpoint. I have made, you know, up to like $550 in one shift. It all depends on what I do, where I go, how many miles I'm putting in, how many stops I have, how many cases I'm unloading. It all depends on all that stuff. So this is pretty moderate. Now,
if you divide that 431.60 divided by 11 hours, it's almost like I made $40 an hour. I mean, it's pretty dang close. I know you can't see that, but that's like basically $39 an hour. And that's what I made today. So now I got to finish my paperwork, but I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah, you know, you do this 5 days a week. On a good week, you'll bring home $2,000 in 5 days, and that's, you know, that's working maybe 60, sometimes more than 60 hours in 5 days. Sometimes it's less though. Sometimes you might work 50 hours and make, you know, $1,700 in 5 days, which is pretty good. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. That's what my income looks like doing this job. It's the best paying truck driving job I've ever had, and it's local, and I get the weekend off, and it's awesome, and I love that about it. All right, see you guys next time.